So here's a question. Is love words or is love behavior? Is love a feeling? Or is it how you or someone else shows up with another person? Is love a sensation in your body? Or is love someone listening to you and really hearing you? And if you haven't stopped to think about it, you may want to. Because this goes well beyond narcissistic relationships, though it is a massive problem in these relationships. I have witnessed countless times, people will say, I love him, I love her, I love them. And my next question, whether I'm in my role as a therapist or a friend, I will always ask this question, which is, what is it about them that you love? It's a quick hack for me to start unearthing whether or not this is a trauma bond. When I get a loosey-goosey answer like, I love them, I love them, they may go a step further and say, well, I love them. We've been married for 25 years. Of course I love her. It's my mom. I love him. He's my brother. But that still didn't answer my initial question. Telling me you love someone because someone is your husband or your mother, that just tells me the nature of the relationship. It still doesn't tell me what it is you love about them. It doesn't get to the qualitative stuff of love. So if someone tells you they loved you, is time served enough? I love them. Well, they're 85. She's my mom. Or we've been married for 40 years. What does that mean? Does that mean that you're stuck and you have to put up with their behavior no matter what? Does that mean you endure abusive behavior? Does that mean you don't ever get to expect that even small fundamental needs will get met in the relationship? So let me teach you a little bit about this by giving you some situations and scenarios. Okay? Oh, I know. I said I'd find a job by now, and I know you're paying all the bills, but we love each other. Isn't that all that matters? Here's another one. I know mom always criticizes you and your kids, and I know mom doesn't always see everything you do, but we're family and we love each other. Can't you just ignore her? And here's another. Oh God, come on, that text means nothing. It's just stupid shit I did when you were out of town that one time and I was drinking. She's nothing. I love you. Isn't that what counts? Here's another. Come on now, who cares if I don't drive the kids to school? It's not a big deal, babe. I love you and you love me, and that's all we need. We don't need to talk about this. How about this one? Oh, I forgot you asked me that. Oh, come on, stop being so mad at me. I didn't hear it. So then you say, but you never listened to me. So that's why all these things are falling between the cracks. And they say, oh, come on, let it go. All right, sometimes I don't hear you. Come on, I love you. Can you stop focusing on these little things? Like, God, I love you, right? Sit with those for a minute. Because in each of those scenarios, and these happen all the time with some variations, and I hear them every single week now for decades in my practice, there's something interesting happening. A person, oftentimes the toxic narcissistic person, consistently does things that are unkind, hurtful, unseeing, unempathic, selfish, or all of the above in their relationship. Again, maybe they're narcissistic, maybe they're not. For our purposes right now, in a way, that part doesn't matter. And instead of addressing the issue when you try to talk about it, whether it's criticism or financial irresponsibility or betrayal or not helping with household duties or the kids or something, or not listening, they just say, oh, come on, that's not important. I love you, or we love each other. That's more than enough, right? Actually, no, it's not enough. The love stuff is great for a poem or an opera or a movie or a play, but it's not enough in real life. In fact, one of the tough parts of healing from intimate narcissistic relationships or trauma-bonded cycles is learning to enter or be in or be comfortable in relationships that may not feel that metaphysical or chemical, which usually is just familiar toxic cycles we feel like we can work through, and entering into relationships that are with good people who listen, who empathize, where it feels balanced and safe. And no, it won't be perfect. No relationship's perfect. But we feel heard. And we don't always feel hypervigilant or on high alert. A very big mistake that a lot of people do make is that they interpret that hypervigilance feeling and assume it's sparks. It's actually more likely to be your sympathetic nervous system sizzling and trying to warn you. Now, the good person that you might meet, where it's balanced and safe, may not be so much the sparks as an unfamiliar but warm, comfortable feeling, and without the chaos, it can be misread as friend zone. But this idea of we love each other, that's a gaslight, folks. It's a denial of your experience. Yes, them holding up their financial or household responsibilities or being there or not betraying you, it's real. Just because they love you doesn't mean that those things aren't difficult, nor are they acceptable. And this magical idea that I love you will make it all go away and make it better is nonsense. Narcissistic people weaponize that phrase all the time. It's even more toxic when they hit with the we love each other, because then you're being pulled into their whole toxic narrative. You're also being put on your back foot, having to defend that, yes, sure, yeah, I love you, but that's not what the conversation is here. We need to get this irresponsible money thing worked out. So now you're being taken down a perilous path of having to engage in love talk, when in fact the problem is with the damn taxes or the credit card bill that need to get paid. Or when your trust is ruptured by an infidelity, having to wonder if love is bigger and mightier than betrayal, may block you from processes such as grief that are an essential part of working through healing, even whether you stay or not stay after that betrayal. Listen, I used to say that I'm a cynic when it comes to love, but I'm beginning to realize that's not accurate. I'm actually a realist. And folks, I'm well into my 6th decade, so I've seen enough long love and family stories play out. It's not the loved up couples who tout their love story on social media. I love my baby so much. I have the best wifey. My soulmate baby heart, heart, heart BS. Those are not healthy and thriving couples. I am not just talking about longevity, folks. There are lots of relationships out there that last many decades that are a hot mess. It's not the grand gesture couples who say, I love you all the time. It's the people who listen. It's the balanced and symmetric relationships. It's the respectful partners and family members who make amends and change when they do make mistakes, and we do it right back for them, and they show up. And don't use stuff like, but we love each other, or as long as we have love, we're okay. Nonsense. Love isn't enough. And maybe once you heal from toxic relationships and family systems, you recognize that love is not just a feeling or a throwaway phrase, but rather it is the committed, empathic, compassionate, unselfish being there. Whether that's being fiscally responsible to lighten the load of a partner or family member, or emptying the dishwasher after your partner had a tough day, or showing grace or even offering some assistance to a family member who may not be able to show up to a family event because of medical issues, or listening and really hearing someone when they talk to you. Maybe those things are love. And if that is the case, then the entitlement, selfishness, lack of empathy, impulsivity, and manipulation of the narcissistic relationship would mean that the so-called love in that relationship is a love that may be more obligation, love in name only, love when it's convenient, love because we're told, of course I love them, I'm married to them, and can get someone out of a tough spot. I love you. Isn't that enough? Maybe it's not. Thanks again.